What's up, old YouTube world? We're going to do a little educational video on how to load a belly dump today. First off, the loader. Heck yeah, man. That we're going to load some of this crushed asphalt onto this truck. First things first, we're going to put the key in the loader. You always want to make sure. That means the parking brake's on. But you always want to make sure to put your seat belt on. That's the biggest thing. Seat belt. Take the parking brake off. Put your seat belt on. And first thing that I do is I usually try to mix the material to get the crust off the top. Because sometimes the stuff off the top is not very good. Because you want your blade man or the guy that's maintaining the road, he does not have to get off of his equipment to make sure that there's no rocks or knots, and then plus cars or even any vehicle, four-wheeler or whatever, will run over it, ruin a tire, get somebody hurt. So anyways, let's get at it. You have to remember, whatever loader or equipment that you're on, you don't want to overload the bucket. And the reason why I say that, because this equipment has counterweights on it. Some of these counterweights will not counter the weight that you put in the front bucket. So just for me, I'm experienced, but a non-experienced person, you're not going to be able to raise this bucket all the way up. Because of the counterweight in the back is not enough to hold the weight that you're putting in the front, and you can and will flip forward. What I do is I raise my bucket all the way up. It doesn't matter if you spill it out or not, I don't have anything. And the reason why I put my bucket all the way up, see that sideboard, except on that belly dump? You don't want to hit that sideboard. That's my truck, but if you're loading someone else's truck, that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to tear up somebody else's truck. You will have to pay for it. So, let's take this right here. I didn't do the first bucket, but let's do the second bucket. Let's take the crust off, do a little mix, and then bring it back down. Because I want to mix this all up real good. Like I said, I don't want the maintainer guy, the blade guy, having to get out of his equipment just because there's a knot or a piece of asphalt that's not broken up real good that we can't fix. One more time, let's do one more time. Dig in, let it fall, turn the material. Alright, let's do this one. There we go. Now this time, I'm going to get a big bucket, and I'm going to show you. This thing will flip over. I'm not going to show. No, I'm not going to show you how to flip over. I'm not a professional stuntman, so I'm not going to flip this. But I just want to show you real quick what this will do. If you get up, see that? It will rock forward, and I just barely touch the brakes. So we do not want to get a lot of material in the bucket unless you have a huge counterweight that will counterweight your bucket in the front. That will make a difference. But today we don't. When the equipment that I'm in does not have a counterweight, it does, but not enough to counter the bucket weight. It's about as much as I'm going to get. I'm not going to get any more. I could probably go another, I don't know, half a bucket or so, but I'm not, just for the reason of the weight. Now you see, when I'm loading this belly dump, I go from one side to the other. So I go to the front, and then I'll put a scoop in the back. What that does, that will distribute the weight of the belly dump. You don't want too much weight in the back, you don't want too much weight in the front. You will distribute the material weight. That way it takes a lot of weight off the truck. material right there. It's a good mix. It's what you want. You want more fines if you can get it. You don't want chunks of asphalt. You don't want clods. You want more fines because that way when they roll it in, they blade it and roll it in, it comes out smooth. So I'm going to go to the back of the trailer. And if you notice, I try to raise my bucket as high as I possibly can. You can still hit the sideboards, but I don't. I mean, of course I don't. But go as high as you can. Sometimes this equipment will not go over those sideboards. But luckily today, the equipment that we have does. You want to try to keep your bucket, I mean, as much as you can. Sometimes it's hard to do because of the ground you're working on, but you want to try to keep your bucket tilted back so the material doesn't fall out. If the material falls out, it's fine. It won't hurt anything for the material to fall on the ground, but you don't want the whole bucket falling out on the ground. Maybe one or two more and we'll be full. Also, if I get, I don't know if you can see the material in the bucket, but if I get one side or the other overloaded, I try to bring my bucket low because this machine can flip to one side to the other and also flip forward, but it will flip one side to the other with the bucket weight. So you just have to remember that. It looks like we're overloading this trailer, but we're really not. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bucket, we're loaded, okay? And I'm going to take this bucket and I'm going to come to the middle of the trailer. And then what I do is I like to slide. I like to slide the material without hitting the sideboards. I'm going to put the bucket just on the top of the material and slide to one side to the other as you're backing up. So back it off, slide back and forth. There you go. It's level. Everything looks good. That way all the weight's distributed. Yes, it looks like there's more material in the back than the front, and it may be, but at least it's level. So, all right. There's loading the belly dump. We're going to park our equipment. We're going to park it because I'm going to be working right here. Always put the bucket down. Down. If you can, barely touch the ground. What I do, always check if I'm in neutral. See, I'm going forward. Always check if I'm in neutral. There's reverse, forward, neutral. Park your brake, unbuckle your seatbelt, and that's it for the day, folks. Stay tuned for more entertaining and educational videos. Thanks for joining. Talk soon. Bye-bye.